Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the meeting. We will now reconvene into open session. The time is now 7:25, and please join us from our students from Bluebonnet Elementary to lead us in our pledges.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, don't leave. Okay, we want to welcome our fifth graders, Gizzy Imoke. Did I say that right? Okay, yay. And Hunter Smouse. Are their parents here so we can recognize you? Please stand up.
Come on up. Come on, Miss Bradley. I'll scoot over this way, will you?
Thank you so much. Well, welcome to everyone. The meetings of the board are open to the public, but are not meetings of the public. The Lewisville ISD Board of Trustees meets monthly to receive reports from staff and take action on recommendations from the superintendent. The board receives the agenda and all supporting documentation 10 days in advance of these regular meetings, which allows us to ask and receive questions to many of our questions. In addition, the board also meets in regular scheduled workshops and work sessions where staff discussions and presentations are given for many of the agenda items. The protocol meetings are lengthy discussions or litany of questions on every agenda item. Often it's not necessary. And as a board, we should have appropriate knowledge and preparation for responses regarding the content of our meeting tonight. Consider action on items discussed in closed session. Personal recommendations. Would someone like to make a motion?
Ms. Cox, I move that all personnel recommendations be approved as presented by administration.
Thank you. That's a motion by Ms. Prosnick. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Hassett. All in favor? That's 7-0. Motion carries. Chief Communications Officer Amanda Brim will share us this month's recognitions.
In Lewisville ISD, our parent-teacher associations are committed to supporting our students, teachers, and schools. Organizations like these are what ensure our students have valuable learning experiences. And the district is happy to recognize the PTAs at Huffines Middle School, McCamey Middle School, and Castle Hills. In Lewisville ISD, our parent-teacher associations are committed to supporting our students, teachers, and schools. Organizations like these are what ensure our students have valuable learning experiences. And the district is happy to recognize the PTAs at Huffines Middle School, McCamey Middle School, and Castle Hills, Bluebonnet, Homestead, Independence, Liberty, and Parkway Elementary Schools for being named a National PTA School of Excellence. Research shows when families and schools work together, students' achievement increases, schools improve, and communities grow stronger. The designation was awarded to the organizations that demonstrate improvement in the family-school partnership and significant progress towards its goal to support the campus and its community. Congratulations to these outstanding PTA organizations. Lewisville ISD appreciates your commitment and support of our schools.
So good evening. I'm Lana Fisher, and I'm the principal at Bluebonnet Elementary.
Middle School won first place in the Texas Computer.
All right. How are y'all doing tonight? Thanks for being here. I would like to introduce my assistant principal, Miss Judy Bradley, and then then we have our teachers and our school nurse here as well, and then Dr. Heath Davis serves on our PTA board, and then Miss Yahida Adamos serves on our PTA board as well as Vice President of School Support. Some other wonderful ladies weren't able to make it, but we are very excited and proud of this award. Thank you.
For Homestead PTA, we're very excited about this award. We have a very active PTA board, and we have Miss Meredith Saunders, Miss Leslie Wood, Miss Lindy Augustine, and one of our great teachers who's also a past PTA president, Lisa Sear. So, thank you.
Thank you all so much. How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm Donna Taylor, principal of Castle Hills Elementary, and we have a very active PTA also. I have Mr. David Johnson, the assistant principal of Castle Hills here. One of the best PTA presidents, Nina Samuels, and Vice President of Communications, Wei Wei Pei. And they are very hardworking, as the rest of the PTA is. Thank you.
Hello. How are you doing? Good. Thanks.
Rogers.
Hello.
Good evening, parents and guests. Our PTA enriches the educational environment and overall well-being of the students of Independence. They care very much about the academic success of our students and also about building positive relationships between our parents and teachers. We are very proud of their award we have tonight. Our president, Erica Roy, if you'll please step forward, Erica, or wave. She's not that shy, really. And then also Don Brackett, our vice president. And then standing next to her is our assistant principal, Kathy McAllister, Erin Swearingen, teacher, awesome teachers, and Laura Hawkes, and good old Miss Margraf, and Miss Patty and Mrs. Teakin are here. We are very proud of you, and we celebrate your successes. We thank you for certainly creating that and cultivating that partnership and involvement by using specific practices and programs. And also we celebrate you and congratulate you for celebrating the successes that you see when involvement is increased at Independence. I give you, les presento el PTA Board de Independence. Por favor, un aplauso.
doing? Good. How are you? How are y'all? Thanks for being here. Oh wow, we got a big crowd. Thank y'all so much. Dr. Rock. Oh, thank you. Oh, hello, neighbor. How are y'all doing? Thanks. Hello. How are y'all? Thanks for being here. Hello.
Good evening. We are the Liberty Elementary School PTA. Very proud of our second consecutive recognition as a National PTA School of Excellence. The people in front of you and so many more represent our 350 families, 505 students, and all of our community at Liberty. So I'm very pleased to introduce, starting at the far end in the front row, our Assistant Principal, Lori Sowers, our PTA President, Marissa Nightingale, our Chair of Hospitality, Julie Brand, teachers, Andrea Cox, Alicia Ducote, Mary Beth Evans, Nathan Brewstead, our parliamentarian to PTA, Vicki Toothman, teachers again, Angie Krell, Debbie Evans, Sherry Arnett, and in the second row at Dr. Rogers' Inn, teacher Lois Ortmeyer, library media specialist Melanie Sibley, teacher Liz Wiegers, instructional support Nadine Glazer, her husband Steve Glazer, who's also our top dog for our Watchdogs program, parent and member Vicki Cutright, student Catherine Thompson, and Sarah Mesh. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Liberty Elementary School PTA representatives.
How are y'all doing?
Good,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
being here. How are you doing?
Oh, sir,
How are you doing? Good to see you.
Y'all get over here by me. Good evening. Our principal, Ms. Parsons, is unable to be here tonight, so it's a privilege as the assistant principal to introduce this awesome team. Denise Borges, president. Nicole Ryburn, fundraising. Christy Langworthy, memberships. And Jennifer Turner, hospitality. They're all parents, but Ms. Turner is a parent. She does hospitality, and she's our school secretary. Parkway is very proud of our PTA because they make magic happen for our kids all year long. So thank you so much for having us tonight.
Oh, no. How you doing, T-Roy? No selfie.
No selfie. Hello, my name is Estella Rupert. I'm the principal of Huffines Middle School. We're very excited to be here today. I brought along a couple of my school board members and some awesome teachers and my assistant principals and Mr. Whitfield, who represents Huffines and who's a great community support for us. So Mr. Hicks is our PTA president. Ms. Lopez is our secretary. Mr. Stevens is one of our band directors. Ms. Johnston Miller, Ms. Ostrander, Ms. Barnes. We have Ms. Mosley, who's our office staff. Our assistant principal, Mr. Smolinski. Mr. Whitfield is our community support. And then Mr. Castillo is also our assistant principal. Thank you.
Hi there, I'm Kelly Knight. I'm the principal, the proud principal of the McCamey Knights, McCamey Middle School in Flower Mound. I want to share with you what our goal was for the National PTA School of Excellence Award, because we're really proud of it. It was to create a culture that is inviting and welcoming to families from all cultures. So we're really proud of that. We have some teachers, we have some parents, we even have TJ, who's a leader on our campus, but he was instrumental in this goal. So I'm really happy and appreciative that he's here tonight. So we'll start with TJ Jalad. He's our student representative. He's on our building leadership team committee, and like I said, he's just one of our top student leaders on our campus. And down on the end, Miss Varney's one of our teachers. Miss Young is a parent. Miss Mesh is a parent. Miss Jalad is TJ's mother and a parent. Miss Kunsky is a parent. Mrs. Nault is instrumental in this goal, and she is our PTA president. So she's my partner in crime, as I always say, although we don't commit any crimes, at least that you know of. And this is Miss Briggs. She's our campus receptionist, and she's just the best person in the world. If you walk in our door, you'll know what I mean. This is Miss Snow, faculty member. This is Miss McMichael, faculty member. This is Miss Warner, who's running on like no sleep, so I'm really appreciative that she's here tonight, faculty member. This is Miss Jones, also faculty member, and Mr. Simonek, faculty member. So thank you all for being here tonight. Really appreciate it.
Briar Hill Middle School won first place in the Texas Computer Education Association's 2018 3D Design Contest. Teams of students created an invention to solve real-world weather problems using the engineering design process in 3D design software. Briar Hill students developed a gadget to attach an umbrella to a walker. This innovative design helps users stay dry and safely use their walker. The contest required a rigorous process of documentation, teamwork, problem-solving skills, creativity, and feasibility of design. Way to go, Briar Hill! Lewisville ISD is proud of you.
Hello, I'm Susie Mickle, and I'm a sixth grade teacher at Briar Hill Middle School, and I'm proud to introduce this award-winning team of formerly, sixth graders. Manu Apalapuram, Lauren Forsythe, and Trinity Beach, first place in the state of Texas.
And parents of these three wonderful young ladies, would you please stand and let us recognize you? We appreciate your support for them.
Briar Hill Middle School student Lucas Brasher earned the Texas Parent Teacher Association Reflections Contest Award of Overall Excellence, as well as the National Parent Teacher Association Award of Excellence for his photograph entitled Stars Within Reach. His entry featured a series of 30-second photos stacked into a single image from a 3-hour exposure. His photo was one of 3 nationwide to receive the Award of Excellence in the middle school photography category at the national level. It is also one of the highest designations in the contest. In addition, Lucas received a $200 Young Artist Scholarship, a silver medal, and a certificate of excellence. Lucas's picture was presented at the NPTA convention in New Orleans in June. His photograph will debut at the NPTA Students Art Showcase exhibit opening in January 2019 at the U.S. Department of Education in Washington, D.C. Congratulations, Lucas.
So I am Leslie Davenport, one of the assistant principals at Briar Hill, and I'm proud to present Lucas Brasher.
Okay, any of Lucas' family here, if you please stand, let us recognize you. Okay, some are family.
This summer, Marcus High School Texas Association of Future Educators program won the Grand Champion Trophy at the 2018 National Future Educator Competition. Marcus achieved this award for having the highest percentage of delegates placed in the competition. Among the MHS students who placed in the top 10, several finished in the top 3. Alana Baxter and Haley Pittman won first place for their pre-K book in English and Spanish. Jordan Carlson and Adrienne McNelly won third place for their video presentation about Timber Creek Elementary's Kids Learning 7 Habits program. And Brooke Linker won third place for her lesson plan and delivery. Way to represent your school, district, and community at the national level, MHS Taffy.
I'm proud to introduce my Texas Association of Future Educator winners. We're not all here tonight because one of us is a freshman at OU, and another year he was working tonight and couldn't be here. But from my far right is Alana Baxter. She brought back 2 awards in the top 10, 7th, 9th for her lesson plan and delivery, and her partner beside her is Haley Pittman. They won first place with their book, authored in English and in Spanish, for children's literature pre-K. Brooke Linkner is next, and she won third for her lesson plan and delivery in humanities. Alana was in art, I'm sorry. And the next to them is to Brooke is the team of Adrienne McNelly and Jordan Carlson. I know them. I see them every day, and I spend a lot of hours with them. Sorry. We have most of the parents. I think almost all of our parents are represented tonight. Would y'all please stand up? Because without your support, there's no way these kids could do what they've done. Mr. Marino is here tonight, too, representing CTE. And for those of you who don't know what CTE is, that's Career and Technology Education. And because we are in an education class, Mr. Reno, thank you for your support. And our principal is also here. Mr. Skelton, would you come up and join us? And I've been bragging to Dr. Rogers for several months that when you get a trophy that is bigger than you are, you bring it to show the board. So would you bring our trophy up to us, Mr. Linkner? I promise.
Yeah. And parents, we appreciate your support, and just wanted you to know, and board wanted y'all to know, I've offered each of them a teaching position in a few years. So.
Lewisville ISD's FFA program had several accomplishments at this summer's Texas FFA State Convention. Lewisville High School student Cutter Mosley won the bareback bronc rider state championship title at the Texas FFA State Rodeo, receiving a $1,000 scholarship and belt buckle. In addition, 5 students earned the prestigious Lone Star degree. Those students were Lewisville High School student Alora Crofts and Marcus High School students Grace Carver, Rayleigh Crawford, Grant Golden, and Delane Moore. To achieve this honor, these students had to complete rigorous documentation of their successful FFA projects, demonstrate leadership skills, and show commitment to FFA through involvement in chapter and state level activities. And to top it all off, Lewisville High School's FFA chapter received bronze in the Golden Horizon Chapter Award, an award that recognizes a well-rounded local chapter with an exclusive, progressive, aggressive program of activities that promotes maximum participation to deliver the leadership component of agricultural education. LISD is so proud of these students and their accomplishments. Congratulations.
Okay, with us today from Lewisville FFA at Lewisville High School, we have Cutter Mosley, who won state bronc riding, Sam Cox, Dylan Bartz, and Brianna Gutierrez. And then from Marcus FFA, we have Grant Golden, Delane Moore, Grace Carver, and Rayleigh Crawford.
Parents, if you wouldn't mind standing, let us recognize you.
Flower Mound High School Wind Symphony Band placed second in the Texas Music Educators Association's 6A State Honor Band competition. Honor Band selections recognize communities and school systems that successfully support music and education through their music programs. Through the years, participation has been active, and the recognition of exemplary programs through the Honor Band selection process has become a most sought-after goal of many directors. FMHS's achievement at this level is direct evidence of commitment, strength, and drive to give students the opportunity to be part of an exemplary music program. Congratulations, Jaguars.
Good evening. My name is Sonia Lell, and I'm principal at Flower Mound High School. It's my honor tonight to recognize and to present to you Mr. Brent Biscup and Miss Jana Harvey. They led our Wind Symphony this summer in the 6A Honor Band competition, in which we placed second place. That's the 6th year that we've gone to this competition, and in those 6 years, we've placed in the top 4. So we're very, very proud of our directors, even more proud of our children, but we left all 55 of them back at the ranch. They're practicing right now. So congratulations to FMHS Wind Symphony.
Congratulations to everyone. Okay, now we're ready to hear requests to address the board. Persons desiring to address the Board of Trustees must fill out a speaker's card prior to the meeting. No presentations shall exceed 3 minutes. The board cannot deliberate on any subject that is not included on the agenda. So we have 2 speakers tonight. Our first speaker is going to be Kyle Ward.
Good evening. Wow, this is PTA night here at Lewisville ISD. Thank you so much for having me here. It has been a great night, great year. Texas was recognized for the most growth in the country in membership. But I want to recognize tonight your 8 Lewisville ISD campuses for earning the National PTA School of Excellence distinction. This is a huge accomplishment. It would not be possible without you, the school board trustees, superintendent, principals, teachers, including every staff member, students, and PTA volunteers. This demonstrates the wonderful partnership PTA has with LISD. The School of Excellence program celebrates partnerships between PTAs and schools to enrich the educational experience and overall well-being of students. This complements very nicely your 4 cornerstones of student learning, student experience, resource stewardship, and community engagement. I want to emphasize this was no small accomplishments because PTA and school administrators had to make a year-long commitment to this. I also want to thank Dr. Rogers and Principal Knight for hosting Camp Just Imagine this year to celebrate the arts. I brought each of you a small token of appreciation for what you do. And again, I want to call out these great principals: Bluebonnet, Ms. Fisher; Castle Hills, Ms. Taylor; Homestead, Mr. Perry; Independence, Ms. Winslow; Liberty, Mr. Greenwell; Parkway, Ms. Parsons; Huffines, Ms. Rapard; and McCamey, Ms. Knight. So Texas PTA School Board member Tim Greenwell, your own Tim Greenwell, and thank you for sharing him with us. He's tremendous. A little something to remind all of you up there, what you do makes a difference in every child. And keep up the tremendous work, and we look forward to a great year.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ward. Sincere appreciations for what you do as well. Okay, our next speaker is Dave Cohn. Is Dave here? Mr. Cohn? Okay, moving on. Okay, we're now ready for information items. The Lewisville Education Foundation, LEF update. Dr. Bonner.
Yes, ma'am. We are fortunate tonight to have Ms. Connie Pelfrey, Executive Director of LEF, and Michelle Cree, President of the Board of LEF, to come and visit with us on all the great things that are happening with LEF.
All right. First of all, I want to thank you all so very much for your help and attending our Lewisville Education Foundation Gala we had Saturday night. It was a big success. So we want to say thank you for the LISD Employee Giving Campaign that's going on right now. We don't have our total yet, but we've got, from the donations last year, LEF awarded $62,000 to the LISD campuses and to the special ed at the beginning of the school year. I think many of you were a part of that, so thank you. In addition to the Employee Giving Campaign, LEF awarded 64 teacher grants valued at $92,800, and so far that's over $150,000 for the year. Let's see here. And the LEF board and staff participated in the LISD Back to School Fair and New to Teaching Breakfast. At the New to Teaching Breakfast, 120 brand new to teaching teachers received a $20 Walmart gift card to help them start their new careers. So we've got several things upcoming, and one is the campus grant applications are open, and the grants are valued for up to $5,000. This weekend on Saturday, LEF will have a booth at the Rhythm at the Riverwalk. The Jim Collins / Steve Allen Memorial Golf event is set for October the 15th, and this helps to fund the Steve Allen scholarship that began last year. LEF senior scholarships will open in November. We have 2 new board members that have joined us. One is Erin Carney, which is from the Metro Crest Chamber of Commerce, and we've got Damian Roberts from Edward Jones. So we're very excited for these new people. So thank you very much for your support. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Ms. Cree. Does anyone have any comments or questions? Okay. Next is the annual Career and Technology Update. Dr. Rapp.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Rogers, I'm going to ask Adrian Moreno to come up to the podium to present our annual CTE update this evening. What a great night. We've already seen CTE recognition, so what a great opportunity to talk a little further about what's going on in the land of CTE.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you all about our CTE programs. It's been a very good year this past year in CTE. Trying to see if my... Here we go. So a little bit by the numbers. Last year, for the 2017-18 school year, we had just under 10,000 students taking at least one CTE course. As you know, we offer 33 different programs last year and 144 different individual courses. For the 2018-19 school year, we anticipate an enrollment of slightly higher than what we had last year, still a little under 10,000, but at 9,956, we're growing a little bit. We've added another program, so up to 34 programs now, and then we also added 4 new courses for this school year. So the new courses that were added were our Firefighter 1, which is also our new program, and then we also added Firefighter 2, which will come online in the following year, and then we added a Video Game Design 2 and Video Game Design 3. So those are the 4 new courses that have been added to give additional options to our students. So our requests for this current year, we're up around 2,600 student requests for the 2 career centers combined. You can see in the graph how it's grown. We've kind of gone up. In 17-18, that's when we had new TEKs that came on. So the addition of some new courses, or the way the courses changed, now we're coming back up to that number where we peaked back in 16 and 17. And then so when you compare that to our enrollments, you can see with Career Center East, our enrollment is around 1,247 is what we anticipate for this coming year, and about 685 for Del Jackson. We know what our enrollment is right now for the fall. We're anticipating what it will be for the spring. There's an opportunity for that to grow. It typically grows a little bit in the spring as students that took courses in the fall end up liking that level 1 course, so then they want to see how they can adjust their schedule to try to get in for that level 2 in the spring so we can move them forward as far as we can. So, but right now that's what we anticipate our numbers being. So then one of the numbers I'm really proud of, and we bring it to you every year, is what our certifications were in our Perkins, which is our Perkins grant, and then every year we do an evaluation review of that grant. And for this past year, for 17-18, we had 1,094 different certifications earned across our district. Last year we were 826, so we had more than a 200 increase in certifications earned. If you think back to 2012, we had 31. So over this year, over these last several years, we've been steadily increasing the number of certifications and opportunities for our students to earn a recognized certification that's on our Perkins evaluation review. So that's quite impressive. My goal was to try to increase that number by 10% from 826. So I think we met it and exceeded it a little bit. Through CTE, we look at how we can keep our students future ready and future focused in combination with the 4 cornerstones of the district. So we're always constantly looking for opportunities to bring other options to our students, see what our student interests are. Are there ways that we can incorporate a kid's interest that's in high school into one of our programs and give them an opportunity to learn more about that and carry it forward? So some of the new experiences that our students have had the opportunity that, moving forward into this year is in combination of a grant from the city of Lewisville, we've started this incubator EDU program over at Lewisville High School, and this is an entrepreneurship-based program that gives students the opportunity to develop an idea, to work through the process of taking an idea all the way through bringing it forward and presenting that as a viable business opportunity. And so this is an excellent opportunity for our students to increase that, learn more about being an entrepreneur and take that entrepreneurial, spirit and see how we can grow that. Then we also had a very unique experience for some of our students with our agriculture program through the Extreme Mustang Makeover. These are the 4 students that they all picked up a wild 1-year-old Mustang back in May, and they had 90 days to raise and train a 1-year-old Mustang to do a series of tasks, and then they competed with a freestyle event as well. That competition took place this last week, so there's a lot more information regarding the Mustang Makeover to come, but we're hopeful this program, as part of the FFA, as another supervised agricultural experience, will be able to move forward, and we can see how we can bring that love of horses that many of our students in this area have forward. And then we started our dual credit firefighter program in partnership with the City of Lewisville's Fire Department and North Central Texas College up in Gainesville, and then the Corinth campus as well as our Flower Mound campus. So we're now providing a full firefighter program to all the students in our district. It's a 2-year program, and at the end of that time, they'll have the opportunity to sit for their state firefighters exam and then carry on into paramedic school or EMT school, which will then lead them into paramedic school and be a fully licensed firefighter shortly after graduation. So those are just a few of the new opportunities that we've brought forward through CTE. And then we want to highlight some of our partnerships. Part of CTE, which makes us a successful program, is our partnerships with local business and industries and giving them the opportunity to get a real-life experience as what it will be like when they finish up with our program. And so we've partnered with the Park Place dealerships, and as of most currently, we have 7 students that have been hired from our programs that are working as technicians at the Jaguar, Land Rover, Mercedes, and Lexus dealerships as part of their Park Place families. So Park Place has been very instrumental in assisting our auto tech program, and they're very eager and anxious to work with our students as the level of training that we're able to provide through our auto tech program is right there along with the standards at which they hold for their dealerships. So it's been a very nice opportunity for our students to get to experience through an internship program while they're in school, and then carry on and work for these dealerships and these automotive industries. So that's a great opportunity that we've been able to provide, and we're looking at other ways we can continue to move our partnerships forward, not only in auto tech but in all our areas, to give students a similar opportunity to learn more about the actual industry. I was talking with a parent the other day, and she was explaining to me how her son said when he goes to the Career Center, he feels like he's going to work. He's not going to school because of the way we conduct the courses there, the instruction that they're receiving. We run it like the industry, so these kids are getting some experience as close as we can make it, and he feels like he has a job instead of just going to school, and that helps us know that we're doing it right. A little bit about our new Career Center that was part of the bond that passed. That's supposed to open up in 2020. Myself, the Executive Director of Secondary Curriculum, Ms. Seeley, and the teachers and I, along with the architects and the design team, have been going over some of the design features of the building in regards to the instructional spaces. and how we can line up those spaces and take advantage of the opportunities along with our business partners and telling us what we need so we can continue to provide those experiences in the classroom and little details that we can make in these buildings as it comes around to make it the best way we can to provide that experience and that real life opportunity for these students. So we're excited about that building coming forward, and trying to create these spaces will provide industry level opportunities for the students in LISD in a variety of career clusters. So we're happy with how that's going. And then I've been told that there's about all this building and the other facilities that are coming online here in the near future that Dr. Rogers will be providing more information regarding the design of those buildings to you all, the board, soon. So that concludes my presentation for the night. Are there any questions?
And Adrian, real quickly, I noticed that Doug Emery's in the audience as well, who is one of our automotive teachers out there with the Park Place dealership relationship and partnership. Thank you, Doug, for all that you do too.
He has been very instrumental in keeping this program going.
Thank you, Mr. Moreno. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Mr. Miller?
I would like to. I always love your presentations. In fact, I'm going to ask you again for the presentation you did in 2014 that showed the number, if you get a certificate and a 2-year degree, kind of some of that statistics, because I lost it. So I'd like to get that again. But I wish there were, I appreciate all the staff here. I wish there were a lot of other people here beyond staff and a few others in the audience, because I think this is one where this weekend there was a post in LinkedIn where Secretary DeVos of the U.S. Department of Education was in Argentina, maybe with the G20, talking about career tech and how we can learn something from other countries. I took a bold step and responded that I think if she spent some time in school districts in the United States, she might learn that other countries could learn from us. And I think this is one where we need to continue to boast about this, because even since 2014, which three of us were serving then, we've seen these numbers move up significantly. So very much appreciate it. And I think that the other thing is it gets forgotten a lot of times from those who are not frequenting these conversations, is that this is an element of accountability at the high school level as it relates to the state's accountability system. And so we continue to make investments here which are deliberate based on recommendations from you and your staff. And thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Hassett?
I also want to make sure that we say that of the hard work and dedication the students have created for those 1,094 Perkins certifications, not all of those are included in the new A to F accountability system. Is that correct?
That is correct.
The students worked hard, and their hard work was not evaluated by the state.
Is that a yes?
Yes, that is true. Not all of the certifications recognized on Perkins are on the Texas accountability system.
Okay, well, I would just like to make a comment. I love the incubator program, and I would like to publicly thank Mary Kay for allowing us to make that happen. So I hope other sponsors will step up to the plate so we can have this in all of our high schools. But my question to you is, when they're going to do basically award the students to launch the company, will it be a big presentation, or will we be able to the public be able to come watch, like a live feature, or will it be done in the classroom?
It will be a very large production.
I can't wait.
Yes, we're going to make a very special evening for those students, is our plan. So we're working out the details of how exactly we're going to do that.
Can't wait. Thank you.
And board, I just want what he alluded to as far as future architectural renderings, either at the October board work session or the November board work session, we will provide architectural renderings for the 3 schools that are being developed: Hedrick Middle School, the new Career Center West, and Mill Street Elementary.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, annual external PE report. Dr. Rapp.
Yes, I'd like to invite Robin Fry and Deborah McDonald to the podium. They're going to present to you our annual review of our external PE numbers from last year. In addition to the great work that Adrian Moreno and the many teachers do in career and technology, Robin and Deborah do a great job supporting our external PE. So thank you so much, ladies, and take it away.
Good evening, Dr. Rogers and board members. We're here to present the annual external PE report. This is Deborah McDonald, extraordinary external PE monitor. She's been with the program now for 10 years and has really grown the program to what it is today. So go ahead. We'd like to start off by highlighting, as we always do, how the external PE offered through our 6th through 12th grade students connects to the LISD Strategic Design Goal number 5, where we're continuously involving our diverse community with their strengths and their resources and talents, as well as the 4 cornerstones. With our student learning, we're providing that meaningful and authentic learning opportunities. We're promoting students' interests and providing choices for their student experience. Of course, in the community engagement, we're building that community partnership and appreciate all the expertise that they're allowing and giving to our students. And resource stewardship, which we will talk about, where we're honoring the student time and talent with those innovative schedules that we can provide. So Deborah has been very persistent in making sure that the information is getting out to not only our parents and our students, but to campus counselors. We have been providing a registration information flyer that goes home in the spring to all campuses, middle school and high school campuses, to students, so that we really want them to register in the spring prior to our fall first day. We still got a lot of, probably about half of the enrollment at the very beginning of the school, but we like for them to be pre-registered so counselors can set the schedules and things like that. And she's done a great job of getting out that information. We meet with campus counselors. Often, Monia Crow invites us to the counselor meetings when we can be there. Of course, our physical education website houses all of our information, our applications, and our FAQs. But because students are receiving a PE grade, we, of course, abide by that 90% attendance law. So we want to make sure that coaches and the facility owners know what our guidelines and our deadlines are, along with the campus counselors. So we make sure that we get that information out there. So once again, we had over 500 participants in our program, and as you can see, of the 512 participants this last year, 406 were middle school students, 106 were the high school students. High school students only have to have that 1 PE credit, so that's why the numbers tail off for high school students. And looking at the different levels, level 1 students are those students that are truly invested in their activity or their Olympic type of sport, and they can miss either the first part of the day, the first period of the day, or the last period to spend more time on task at their facility. Level 1 requires 15 hours or more of hours during the week for instruction, and that does not include competition time. Our level 2 then is participation is typically higher in the middle school because level 2 external PE students are scheduled at the 0 hour. This allows students to pick up an additional elective, which is an advantage in scheduling, and of course allows student choice that we talked about on our cornerstone. Level 2 students participate 5 to 14 hours a week, and they don't miss any portion of the regular school day. Okay. Okay, it's okay, go ahead. And so that's okay. That was showing you the, over the last 4 years, we've been over 500 participants in there. I apologize, Dr. Rapp, we added that and I forgot that we included that. So, but that just shows you that we have been over 500 participants for the last 4 years now. So I'm showing you our top 6 activities. From last year, dance continues to be the #1 activity with right at 36%, followed by gymnastics with right at 20%. In 2017 and 18, we had 16 activities, and we added middle school baseball, clay targets, and then we put rowing back in the active list. The approved activities are all Olympic-type sports that we don't offer in our schools or as an athletic team or part of our PE program. But we also want to make sure parents understand then that if your child enrolls for middle school baseball, then that's their PE credit, so they cannot do athletics. So that's why we have maybe 1 or 2 students in that particular activity. We've seen lacrosse and hockey really drop over the last couple of years. Perhaps that's attributed to the coaching changes and the availability of facilities. And we miss Mr. Prosnick. He needs to coach Hebron. We didn't have anybody in Hebron lacrosse this year. Deborah and I always visit the new facilities and prospects to meet owners, coaches, to discuss our program and guidelines face-to-face with them before we add them to our approved facility list prior to our June 1 deadline. This last year we had 143 facilities. We had 200 coaches, and then we are spread out over 30 local communities, Poetry being one of them, Valley View. We make sure that we stay within a 25-mile radius of the student's home campus. So we have a student for Hebron that goes to Rockwall. We have a student from Marcus that goes to Valley View. We just want to make sure that they're not spending too much time on traveling and they're actually spending time on the instruction. That concludes our presentation.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Fry. Ms. McDonald, does anyone have any questions?
I just want to thank you for the program. I did have a question. I know that last year you went to a more digital way for reporting, and I just wanted to know how that was working.
A digital way for reporting.
A digital way for them to report grades and things of that nature.
Yeah, the coaches love it. You know, at first they were a little hesitant, but it takes them less than a minute to submit a grade. And so I've had good response. At first it was hard, but
and
they're open to
we've had great response with the campuses too, because we send it to both the lead counselor and the lead PE person. So somebody is going to put the grade in Skyward, and then we have a way.
And I get them too.
Right.
So
I double check them to make sure that they have their grade in Skyward.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, and I'll pass along the message to my husband.
All right, anyone else? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, renewal of RFP 2454-16 Awards Banquet Facility Products and Services. Mr. Ball.
Thank you, Ms. Cox. I think Ms. Brim is coming to the podium to address this issue.
So as we do every year, we research the facilities available for our banquet and bring this to you as an information item. And we'll next month ask for approval for the DFW Hyatt, which is the place that we've had the banquet the last several years. So y'all have any questions?
Anyone have any questions for Ms. Brim?
With the price increase, I was wondering if we were going to be receiving any additional services from the Hyatt.
Not that I'm aware of.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you very much. TASB Board Policy Update 111 Legal, Mr. Crownover.
Thank you, Madam President, members of the board. As you know, from time to time, TASB does these updates to our legal policy. It's based on either changes in the statutes by the legislature or the administrative code by the Commissioner of Education. And so this is just providing us with those updates here today. Anything that was already, these things have been in place for a little while now. The administration's already been aware and is implementing them as needed. This is just TASB updating it so that it's out there for everyone to see. So this is nothing that you need to or can improve. It's just here for your information this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Crownover. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, discussion items. Monthly financial report, including the bond report, monthly investment report. Mr. Ball.
Thank you, Ms. Cox. This item is the regular monthly reports that the board receives. The first of those is our schedule of revenues and expenditures for the month ended July 31st, 2018. I would point out that these are cash basis financial statements, and we are at the point 10 days after the end of the fiscal year where we're making all the year-end adjustments to reflect the accrued expenditures as well as adjusting our revenues to what we've earned as opposed to what we've received. And so that will result in a downward adjustment to revenues over what we've collected. We anticipate that we'll collect at the end of August, or we've already collected more revenue from the state than what we've actually earned. And there will be some additional expenditures accrued to reflect the fact that a lot of the expenses that we've incurred have not been paid as of the end of the fiscal year, as is the normal practice at year end. And then also included are the bond reports for the remainder of the 2008 bond funds and the 2017 bond funds. and then the monthly investment reports. And certainly, Madam President, we'd be pleased to address any questions the board may have.
Thank you, Mr. Ball. Does anyone have any questions? Mr. Miller?
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't submit this earlier, Mr. Ball, but with an appreciation to what you just said about some of the accruals and things that have not been paid, in looking at page 2 on the budget, when you look at the line excess deficiency of revenues over under expenditures and the projection or the variance of $54 million to the positive, how much do you think will be depleted of that? Will any of that be left, or are we going to dip into the fund balance?
We will be dipping into fund balance this year. We told our Community Budget Advisory Committee this week, we gave them the same caveat we're giving the board and the public on these statements, that we're still in the process of making these adjustments. And we will be really through the end of October. As you may know, generally accepted accounting principles require that governmental entities accrue taxes that are collected the first 60 days after the end of the fiscal year. So we're still in that period. But all of that said, we're looking at 2 different models. One that I'm working shows about a $10 million deficit for the end of the fiscal year, and the other one's in the $14 million range. So I'm thinking it'll be somewhere between those two. That's what we've reported to the Community Bond Advisory Committee, I believe, on Wednesday nights when we met.
Any questions? Thank you, Mr. Ball. Okay, TASB Board Policy Update 111. Mr. Crownover.
Thank you, Madam President, members of the board. These are the local policy updates TASB recommends based on the legal policies that I mentioned previously. These have been reviewed by myself and the rest of the leadership team. We certainly are okay with them and think they're the right things to add to our local policy. The plan is obviously that we'll bring those back to you next month for approval, but they're just here for discussion tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Crownover. Does anyone have any questions? All right, action items. Consider approval of legislative priorities. Dr. Rogers.
Thank you, Ms. Cox. As we discussed, last Tuesday night, and then worked on various edits, and then we sent those out really to you in 2 different methods just to help you sort of see the edits. And so we just would ask that y'all help us work through this and get done, and where we can get them posted. So if there's any other wordsmithing, then we're certainly open to that.
Ms. Hassett?
I would request that you add into the school finance second bullet, basic allotment. Increased outdated funding formula included but not limited to basic allotment. Because if they increase basic allotment, a lot of the others will rectify themselves as well. So I think that's one of the big things that we could do to help ourselves this next session is push for basic allotment as well as transportation, CEI, special education funding. But I think that's one of the things that they actually might do, possibly, maybe not.
Any other comments?
I would. I think this would be, as I thought about this, too extensive. But I think about in school finance, the legislature must use a better methodology. Perhaps a better way to put that was, it would be in the best interest of public school children to blah blah blah. Right? We're telling the legislature they must do something versus basically making a suggestion that there's a benefit to the students or the system.
Mr. Miller, I guess as I read that, that's more about transparency and making sure that the legislatures understand when they are creating a bill and what that financial impact is on school districts. That's how I read it.
Correct. I wouldn't disagree. I just think that making the state, because we've been very delicate about the way we were going to say things this year, telling them that they must do something, right, is just, there's probably a better way of saying that in the way that we've kind of wordsmithed the entire document.
Would the words "in the interest of transparency" work for you?
They would.
You're saying to add the word transparency?
As long as the must comes out.
Yeah. Any other comments? Okay, would someone like to make a motion with those two changes?
I move to approve the legislative priorities as presented with the changes made by the board and administration.
That's a motion by Ms. Hassett. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Sells. All in favor? That 7-0 motion carries. Thank you very much. We have our legislative priorities. Consent items. Is there any items that need to be pulled?
Oh, boy.
Oh,
K.1.f.
Any others? Would someone like to make a motion? Ms. Sells?
I move the board approve the consent agenda items as recommended by administration with the exceptions of items pulled for separate consideration, which are items 1F.
1KF.
1KF. Sorry.
That's a motion by Ms. Sells. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Hassett. All in favor? That's 7-0. Okay. Mr. Miller, would you like to make a motion?
Ms. Cox, I'd like to make a motion that we approve item K1.f, consideration approval of district improvement plan.
That's a motion by Mr. Miller. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Timish. All in favor? Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Would you like to discuss your motion? Sorry.
Yeah, so on this, I just, I don't want to go into a lot of detail, but I do want to make note of it because my concern is not with the district innovation plan, and I appreciate that staff has even taken greater efforts this year to provide linkage to the campus improvement plans, visibility, et cetera. My concern, as I've raised separately, is really in the balance of for those who don't know, this is a statutory or an education code requirement, and it carries with it two policies, or of course the education code, as well as a legal and a local policy. My concern is kind of the linkage between those two policies, whereas we have a committee that has to provide input, and that committee has, for the coming year, is not formed. And so while I believe that we are going to comply with the legal position, the legal requirement, the education code puts back on the board a process that we have to agree to, which we agreed to in September, I believe, of 2017, and it's probably a recurring thing. So I would just like to make note here that a couple things. Number one, since we put out a request for people to be involved in the district leadership team, that they hear from at least one trustee, but I think we'd all agree, that the importance of being on the district leadership team and the selection process that Dr. Coburn, as the designee of the board's designee, Dr. Rogers, will go through, that is a very serious committee. And it requires serious attention and attendance and those types of things. I think you'd agree, Dr. Coburn. I just want it to be on record that it is essential that this committee be more than a committee that's just put together to meet the compliance of a local policy, which is in compliance to a legal policy under the education code. It's actually a committee that I hope that brings some efficacy and input into our plans. So with that said, I think the point, with some having the background understand, I would like to understand, given the policy, what input did the district leadership team have was it last year's district leadership team had input into the current DIP that we're submitting to the state, or if someone could explain to me how that kind of supply chain worked?
Yes, I'd be happy to do that. So in collaboration with Dr. Coburn, basically we started looking at the comprehensive needs assessment and developing the district improvement plan last spring, because one of the things that you want the district improvement plan to do, or that we want it to do, is help drive the development of the campus improvement plans. And so we worked really hard to get a variety of input from a variety of sources. So the campus principals, the superintendent leadership team. We brought it to the DLT in their meeting in June in order to get their feedback about it and take a look at it. And so then moving forward this school year, the district improvement plan comes back to them with Dr. Coburn at those meetings for them to hear about the formative reviews and the progress that has been made on it. So they were able to hear about it in June and provide feedback. And the feedback has been very positive from both the DLT members on that day, as well as the campus principals, in terms of providing a plan that can truly be used to help develop the campus improvement plans and is aligned with the I statements.
And I'm sorry, Dr. Webb, they met in July?
June.
And we received a review of the first review in June of the district leadership, or the DIP?
The DIP came last month as a discussion item.
Right,
and
but
then
I think there was an
tonight-
earlier date that we saw something I saw in an email. No? Okay. So the DLT had a chance to review this?
In June.
The previous DLT, not the
Yes.
one going forward? Okay. So, great, thank you. I would just ask that we take into consideration kind of a calibration of the local policy and the legal policy, and just make sure that, because, and this is not the first year I've raised this, it's really unclear to me how the DLT works. There are provisions within the policy that suggest that if there are vacancies or lack of attendance, those types of things, and this is not the first time this has come up, and I would just like to, again, this is not a criticism, I would like for there to be some more clarity, or at least for me, to have a better understanding of how this is all going to work together.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Ms. Prosnick?
Dr. Rapp, was this the same process that was used last year for the district improvement plan?
Actually, more input was gotten into this district improvement plan this school year than in previous years by bringing it to multiple groups of people to provide input and feedback.
And Mr. Miller, Ms. Lasan, who sits to your left, I know served on the DLT and could perhaps provide some insight to the ongoing workings of that.
Well, I'm now more concerned. Just kidding.
Okay, any other questions? All right, we have a motion by Mr. Miller and a second by Ms. Timish. All in favor? That's 7-0, motion carries. Okay, the next item on the agenda is to consider a Level 3 student discipline appeal. If at any time the board is to hear a matter involving a student, the matter must be heard in closed session. Pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 5510821, we will therefore move into closed session at this time to hear the Level 3 student discipline appeal. The time is now 8:40. Okay, we are back and on the record for open session, having returned from closed session. The time is now 10:21 p.m. Does any board member have a motion regarding the student discipline appeal?
Ms. Cox, I do. I move to uphold the administration's disciplinary placement. I further move to direct the superintendent to review the student's disciplinary placement after the conclusion of the fall semester.
Motion by Ms. Prosnick. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Timish. All in favor? That's 7-0. Motion carries. If there's no further business, this meeting is adjourned, and the time is now 10:21.